The Whipple Detention Facility in Minneapolis. All right, this story just got a little bit bigger. A federal judge has basically told the administration, you cannot do this. She ruled, female judge ruled, that immigration detainees in Minnesota were not given proper access to lawyers. And she didn't sugarcoat it. She said the Constitution doesn't allow the government to arrest thousands of people and then ignore the rights just because it's inconvenient. According to her, the Constitution does not permit the government to arrest thousands of individuals and then disregard their constitutional rights because it would be too challenging to honor those rights. This is what I've been saying all along. Even though you're an illegal alien, doesn't mean you don't have rights. You have rights, and those are the things that the Trump administration have been violating. That was very strong language that she used. So let's walk through what actually happened clearly and simply. Back in December, the administration launched something called Operation Metro Surge. They called it the largest immigration enforcement operation ever. Thousands of federal agents were sent to Minnesota. At one point, there were around 3,000 agents operating out of Minnesota. About 3,000 people were arrested. Now, here's where things started to go sideways. People were being detained at the Whipple Federal Building in Minneapolis. That building isn't even a regular jail. It's basically a federal office building that was being used to hold people. And lawyers started saying something wasn't right. Lawyers filed a lawsuit saying detainees couldn't properly contact their lawyers. The judge looked at the evidence and agreed there was a serious problem. She said the government ramped up enforcement without planning for people's constitutional rights. In plain English, she's saying you rushed this operation and didn't make sure people could talk to lawyers. The government tried to argue that making changes would cause chaos. The judge pushed back hard. She basically said the Constitution isn't optional just because it's hard, which is what is the argument that I've been making. People keep saying illegal aliens don't have rights. Yes, they do. You cannot just violate their rights. Every person that steps foot on U.S. soil has certain rights, regardless of their status. This is the core of her ruling. The Constitution isn't optional just because it's hard. So let's slow down. When someone gets detained, especially in immigration cases, things move fast. Paperwork gets filed, transfers happen, people can be moved to other states. If they can't reach a lawyer quickly, they lose their chance to fight their case properly. The judge ordered that detainees must be allowed to contact a lawyer within 1 hour of being detained. 1 hour. And they can't be shipped out of the state before getting that chance. That tells you how serious she thinks this is, okay? Because they were violating their rights. This wasn't just about phone calls, okay? During the surge, in-person lawyer visits were stopped. People were being transferred quickly and sometimes without notice. Some transfers even violated court orders. Minnesota's chief federal judge said ICE violated at least 96 court orders in January alone. 96. That's not a small mistake. That's either massive disorganization or something much, much worse. Now, here's where things get even more serious. 2 men were charged with assaulting ICE officers during a chaotic incident. Prosecutors claim they attacked officers with tools. An officer was shot. Then suddenly, prosecutors dropped the charges. They said new evidence didn't match the original allegations, and they dismissed the case permanently. When charges get dropped like that, especially after prosecutors pushed hard to keep those men locked up, it raises questions. Was the original story accurate? Was force justified? Those questions don't just disappear. It didn't stop there. Even after judges ordered certain detainees released, ICE detained them again. One judge had to order release twice. A 19-year-old woman was transferred out of Minnesota after a judge said she should be released. Another judge in another state had to step in and order her emergency release after learning her baby was severely burned and needed surgery back home. That's not normal procedure. That's chaos. And that's part of why the courts are stepping in. Immigration enforcement is legal. The government has the authority to arrest and deport undocumented immigrants, but the power has limitations. Constitutional rights don't disappear during enforcement. That's what this ruling is about. The judge is saying you can't flood a state with thousands of agents, arrest thousands of people, then treat legal protections like an afterthought. They must have their due process. That's not how the system is supposed to work when you ignore people's rights. Operation Metro Surge is reportedly winding down. Tom Homan said that today. But the legal consequences are just getting started. When federal judges start writing strong rebukes into official rulings, that's going to stick. Now, the question is whether this was just poor planning or something more serious. Either way, the courts are watching this very, very closely. Also, around the country, they're watching it very, very closely. We will let you know how it goes. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe. This is HQ. We're trying to get to 10,000 subs. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you.